Hello, welcome back. We're going to pick up on the next primary pillar of why I'm running for the board. And I gave this one the name that there's gold and then there are hills. Now, many of you have heard me say that I believe that Hilltop Lakes has more intrinsic value now on the marketplace than it ever did when Beeland first developed it in the 1960s. Now, my question first off is to you. Do you believe that? The fact of the matter is, when I got here, I knew we lived in it was beautiful. It was awe-striking. The rolling hills, the hardwood trees, the lakes, the golf course, the airport community. It was really overwhelming, but I also know this place has been around for a long time, and it didn't seem like there was a lot of activity. I didn't know for sure. The fact is that I know very positively now the immense value that Hilltop Lakes has in 2018. It's part of my business to know this. In real estate, we work, like I had mentioned previously, in 7 counties in the Brazos Valley. And so the demographics that are looking for land in this area that have the attributes of Hilltop Lakes is quite astounding. But so we do have immense value. But you got to remember, so did Sears. Sears had immense value, but what did they do with it? And where are they at now? Think about this for a moment. If you were to build Hilltop Lakes now, what do you think the cost would be to build an 18-hole golf course as nice as the one that we have? Add to that amount the cost of building the lakes. Add to that amount the cost of building a very large lodge with restaurant facility in it. Add to that the hotel and cabanas. Add to that the campground. Add to that the runway and the aviation community. Now add to that about 4,000 acres of land that you platted, surveyed, developed into 100 platted sections, put road base for well over, they say 150 miles is what I hear. Never measured them, but let's use that. Well over 100 miles worth of road base, putting the road infrastructure in. Now let's talk about the utilities. Let's talk about the water infrastructure that has been spent and put in at Hilltop Lakes. We are talking an immense amount of money to build our community. Now, I've heard in the past that some people think that we paid far too much when we as an association bought Hilltop Lakes from the developer. And I think, if you ask Jim Finnegan, I bet you he'll know the exact amount. I heard it was somewhere around 3-point-something million, 3.5, something of that nature. But you could see that 3.5 million wouldn't cover a fraction of what I just went through with y'all. Now, we have an immense amount of value. But I look at it this way. It's like having land and having a motherlode gold vein that's underneath the ground that you own. And that's value. That's you know, you got value there, but the fact of the matter is if you leave it under the ground and you do nothing, it's value that never came to nothing and never profited or benefited anybody. But with the proper planning and actions, like organizing a team, picking up shovels and pickaxes and getting to work, okay, there's immense value there. So to wrap this up, marketing alone, okay, does not get us where we need to be as a community. It takes additional planning and actions in order to fully and properly unpack this and make our society far more prosperous, far more healthy, for all the retirees, for all the golfers, for all our other property owners that live far off of Hilltop Lakes. This can be an amazing place for everybody. But we got to pick up our pickaxes. We got to all join in. And we need to change this community for the better together. Thanks.